So where should you invest $1,000 right now? A question I've been getting from a lot of people. Now let's first assume that you've already got money put aside, saved for a rainy day, an emergency fund. That's always the first thing you got to do before you consider investing. You ideally want to have 3 to 6 months of whatever your monthly expenses are saved, put aside, put that into a savings account. You do not touch that unless you lose your job, unless you're going through an emergency and you need it to get through a difficult time. The worst thing you want to do is take everything you've got and invest that into a stock, a business, or some other investment vehicle or class. That's way too risky and that's not financially responsible. You first got to make sure that you have good money management skills and habits before you consider investing. You never want to be in a position where you've got to sell your investments out of desperation to pay your rent or your bills or whatever it might be. So you first got to be responsible. You first got to learn the foundational skills of managing your money and tracking your expenses and setting a budget. You might have to sell stuff you don't need. You might have to cut back. You might have to make sacrifices, but you first need to have that savings, and especially in a time like this where you want to hold more cash to have as a reserve for that rainy day. Now let's assume you've already done that. And by the way, I've done other videos here on my channel teaching you more about how to manage your money. I've been teaching it for many years now, and I'll link those for you here on Project Life Mastery in the description for you to check out those videos. But let's assume you have now $1,000 after that you're ready to explore investing. There's a few different options for you, and I'm going to give those to you, and I'm going to share with you what I think is the best option depending on where you're at and the steps that I took that were the most beneficial for me and what my mindset is of this. The first option and opportunity that you could invest your $1,000 into would be investing in stocks, investing in the stock market. There's a lot of great, amazing companies that if you buy them now and you hold them over the long term, they're very, very likely to go up and you're likely to make money from that and do pretty well. At a time like this where we're in a bear market, which means that the prices of stocks in the US and Canada and really the whole world have dropped from their all-time highs down 20% or more, that's a bear market. And a lot of great companies you can invest in at a cheaper price than what they were trading at a month ago, you can buy and invest in. And if you hold it as things recover, as things go back 20, 30%, you can make that return. But if you hold it long enough, then things tend to go up and do even better over the long run. I love investing in stocks. That's what I do with the money that I make from my businesses. I take that, I invest some of it back into my business. Others I invest into other investment classes to diversify and to create long-term wealth. And right now there's some great buying opportunities. I've done some videos already on my YouTube channel and my podcast sharing what I'm investing in and how I'm investing and my investing strategy and advice for beginners. I'll link those for you as well. But I've been buying a lot of blue chip companies, a lot of the biggest companies that are, on the stock exchanges in the US and Canada. I love buying all the big tech companies. I'm very bullish on Google and Amazon, which by the way, Google and Amazon are trading at more than $1,000 a share, so it might not be appropriate for you if you only have $1,000. But Apple and Facebook and Microsoft and Oracle and Salesforce and Tesla and a variety of other tech companies that I really love, that I believe in, that long-term are going to make me more money. I've also invested in a lot of bank stocks, and those could be some great options for you that I think financials is always a great staple to have in your investment portfolio. I invest in the biggest banks in the US and Canada, so that includes JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citibank rather. And then on the Toronto Stock Exchange and also trading in the US exchanges as well is Bank of Nova Scotia, TD Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, CIBC, Bank of Montreal. I invest in gold. I invest in a lot of ETFs, exchange traded funds. I invest a little bit into oil as well, ExxonMobil and Chevron. I invest a little bit in some airline companies like Delta. A variety of different companies and stocks. There's a lot of great opportunity to invest in. Some of them might be more risky than others, such as airlines or oil right now. Others you can't go wrong with, in my opinion, such as the big tech companies or the financial companies. Even the credit cards like American Express and MasterCard and Visa I like. There's a lot of great real estate investment trusts that you can also invest in. There's a lot of great opportunities right now as an investor. But in order for you to invest at a time like this, you've got to make sure that you're prepared. You don't just reactively, in my opinion, dive into investing when you've never invested before. I don't know if that's the best idea, to be honest with you. I think that you should have been preparing for this time beforehand, educating yourself a little bit more, maybe already been investing. And so then you can kind of enter into a bear market like this, prepared and knowing what you're doing rather than making some more risky decisions because you haven't really invested before in your life. And if you haven't invested, it doesn't mean you can't now. You can still learn and dip your toes in and gain some experience with it. But in my opinion, I think a lot of people, they're not quite ready to really dive into investing until first they've got money saved, they're a little bit more educated on investing, and they actually have a strategy and a plan going into it rather than just jumping into something, not really know what you're doing. So that's a little disclaimer that I have for you guys. But if you are in a position and you've got your savings, you got more $1,000 or more, you're looking for the long term and you're responsible and you've educated yourself a bit on investing already, there can be some great opportunities right now that if you have that long-term horizon, you can do pretty well with it. Now, here's the thing when it comes to investing. Oftentimes, if you only had $1,000, to be honest with you, investing in stocks is not the place where I would recommend for most people. Okay, there'd probably only be a very small percent, less than 5% of people watching this that I'd really recommend to pursue investing more in stocks at a time like this. Because when I look at my life, I didn't create my success by investing in stocks. Yes, I've made a lot of money investing in stocks and it's been great for me, but it didn't really change my life. You see, if right now you've got $1,000 to invest and let's say you put it into Apple, you can buy maybe 3 or 4 shares of Apple stock right now, or maybe you put it into Tesla, you could buy 2 shares of Tesla. You could put it into that, and as things recover over the next few months by 20 or 30%, your $1,000, now you have $1,300. You made a $300, return on your investment. Or maybe you hold it long enough and that goes to $2,000 or more than that. Is that really going to change your life? I mean, honestly, as having an extra $300, a 30% return on your $1,000 really going to change your life? I mean, yeah, it's cool to make an extra $300. It's great to get that kind of return. That's a great return, but not unless you have a lot of money to invest. It's not really going to move the needle that much in your life. And you're going to have to be such a long-term investor that you hold these companies for 10, 20 years and even longer than that before you really get to numbers that really add up, that could be a little bit more life-changing for you. So to be honest with you, even though it's great to have $1,000 to invest it wouldn't be the number one place to start. See, I think that's what a more important investment to make before you even invest in stocks, and the investments I made first when I started my journey was investing in myself. And by the way, that's the number one investment that Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, one of my role models, he says, the best investment, it's not in real estate, it's not in stocks, it's in you. It's in you. That's the best investment. That's what changed my life more than anything else. And I think a lot of people don't realize and recognize how powerful information can be, how powerful it can be to invest in books where you can extract a whole lifetime of someone's experience and knowledge, and you can consume that in a matter of hours or days and read that book and upload all of their knowledge and wisdom into your brain, and that benefits you and benefits how you live your life from here on forward and the decisions that you make. That's a great investment. Books are such a bargain when it comes to the amount of money it costs to invest in them, and the return you can get on that in your life is incredible. Or investing in courses. Just the other day, Tatiana and I invested in a relationship course one on Tantra. It's $300, and we're obsessed with improving every aspect of our life. And I could have taken that $300 and invested in 1 share of Apple, but I know that this investment in this course in our relationship is going to equal something so much more than money. It's going to create more love and more passion, more intimacy in our relationship. It's going to allow us to remove blockages that we have preventing us from being more open and surrendering to each other and taking our relationship to levels beyond what it is now. For me, that's a powerful investment more than just, getting a 30% return on a certain stock, or investing in my business, my marketing skills, my talents, my capabilities, my ability to communicate, my mindset, my body. There's all these things I can invest in through other mentors and courses and coaches that I can hire that I'll always get a greater return from than I ever will from a stock. And by investing that money into myself to become more, then that equates to everything else I do in my life getting that much better. I can make better decisions in my business, my finances, my relationships. All of that improves by first prioritizing yourself. So that's always the number one thing that I recommend for people. I see everybody, whenever people ask me about stocks, and when I really talk to them about it, I'm say, hey, listen, don't worry about stocks right now. Work on yourself, work on your habits, your skills, your mindset, all of the things that will actually equate to you earning millions of dollars return from who you become and ultimately allow you to have that money to invest more with when it comes to other opportunities in stocks or whatever it might be. So that's number one. That's how I changed my life since I was 17 years old. First seminar I ever went to was $500 at 18 years old. And ever since then, I've been literally invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into myself. And yes, that's a lot of money. You might think that's crazy, but that's resulted in me making millions of dollars and not, more than money. It's transformed every other part of my life. Okay, so when I do the math on that, the return that I get from every investment I make, and especially when you're young, now is the time to grow and to learn as much as you can, because that's going to make the rest of your life easier. If you're a teenager, if you're in your 20s or 30s and 40s, you have an opportunity right now to make your 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s so much easier and greater if you're willing to sacrifice a bit now to invest your time and your money into yourself. It will pay dividends to you in your future. It will compound over a period of time. Okay? I started when I was 17. I'm 33 years old, 33 now. Over 15 years of doing the advice that I'm sharing with you guys. My life is so much different today, and I get to live, and really, I'm blessed and very grateful to live this life, but it's all because of those decisions I made 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And you have that opportunity right now that you're not going to see the benefit really over the next few months, but you will see it a year from now, 5, 10 years from now, how much your life will change based on the investments you're putting into yourself right now. So that's always what I'd recommend first and foremost. The second thing would be investing in your own business. Now, not everybody wants to build a business. If you just want to have a job instead, that's fine. Then definitely investing in stocks or real estate can be great for you. But for those of you that really want to take your life and your finances in your own hands, building your business is the way to do it. That's really how most people become wealthy. They make their money also, yes, on stocks or real estate, but that's very, very long term. A business is something you have more control over. It's something you can put your time, your energy, your money into. You can get much greater returns. For me, $1,000 I put into my business can equal tens of thousands of dollars return. Okay? And right now is one of the best times to get started on a business because the world is going through a big shift right now with the coronavirus where more people are transitioning online to buying online, to consuming content online. I mean, it was already high before. Now we've just taken to an even higher level because people are forced to interact and engage and use the internet more than they ever have. And so if you build your business now online, even though, yes, there might be a rough patch where there might not be enough people spending as much money for the next few months, for the next year, if you go into a recession, you're positioning yourself at this time by developing these marketing and business skills and building your business so that when things do get better, you're going to explode and skyrocket and really benefit from all the work you're putting in now. And that's my mindset that I have. Right now I'm investing in mentors and expertise and strategies to grow my business. And I always try to humble myself, even though I've been doing this for a long time, humble myself to the point where I'm still a student. I just want to learn, extract as much as I can from others and get courses and mentors, all of that. Because I know right now, even though my sales might be going down, a year from now, I'm going to go to another level because of this time and look back, because you've got to have that long-term horizon as an investor. And so investing in your business, whether it's on Amazon, physical products, maybe it's publishing books on Amazon and investing in that. Maybe it's investing in a website. Maybe it's investing in content. Maybe it's investing in some sort of project that you have that can bring a potential return for you. Now is the time to do that. Now is the time to double down and focus on that and take advantage of the opportunities that are present for you. And whatever your $1,000 investment is, you're going to make so much more on the other side of that than you will from just investing in a stock or real estate or whatever it might be. So for me, those are the things that I've really prioritized the most. Investing in myself and then investing in my business. I always get the greatest returns from that. And then because I've rinsed and repeated investing in myself and my business, I've been very grateful to be in a position where I have a business that brings in a lot of cash flow. And then that's how I'm able to take that money and invest it in stocks and other investment vehicles that can really create that long-term wealth over the next 10 years and beyond. So I think for a lot of you guys that are looking to invest, yes, it's great. Learn as much as you can. Maybe if you don't want to build a business, look into investing in stocks and maybe dip your toes in now. And even if you have a business, not saying that you should put everything into your business or just yourself, it really depends how much money that you have. Ideally, you do all three, right? You invest in yourself, you invest in your own business and grow that, and you also invest in stocks. Ideally, you do all three, as I do, but it really depends how much money you have and where you're starting from. And if you only have $1,000, first it's prioritizing yourself, and then it's also your business, because those two are interlinked, right? The more you invest in you, the more that your business will benefit from it. And then making your money from your business and then taking that and investing in stocks and other long-term investments. That's what I did. That's what I recommend for most people. And it's just what makes, honestly, the most sense when you actually look at the return that you can get on each different investment you make for your $1,000. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Otherwise, right now is the time, guys, as I said, use this as an opportunity. Study harder, work harder, invest in yourself right now. Use this time to position yourself for your long-term success, and it will pay off for you. So if you enjoyed this, give this a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos here on Project Life Mastery on inspiration, business, marketing, success, every aspect of life that you want to improve and master. And if you want to get started building a business or learn more about ways to invest in yourself, I have some courses and resources that I can share with you that I'll link to below for you, or you can go to projectlifemastery.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. God bless you and take care.